Folks, when I first started the Mind War podcast just 5 months ago, I had no idea where it was going to lead me. Before the end of the first season, the Mind War podcast had already been picked up by the Killed Podcasters Network. I was blown away. When Brian Redban reviewed my merch on Virtual Redban, I was so excited. And when Bert Kreischer, one of America's most famous and beloved comedians, hung my art in his home office, I was ecstatic. But what I'm about to show you has truly left me speechless.
So I've got three big ones here. I'm going to start with the smallest one. This is another unknown. I thought this was so good, but then we got two huge celebrities coming up on Redbar in the Wild. Guys, this one was sent to me. I don't know by who. I was tagged in it in Instagram. It's from a podcast called Mind War Studios. I hope I'm getting that right. Mind War Studios. And they had some amazing things to say about me that I wanted to share with you here today on the show. And I guess this is Mind War himself. Can we see that? It's a little dark.
You can see.
There's Mind War.
I see Mind War.
Listen to this, guys. Redbar in the Wild.
We got the wall painted black. So, I would be remiss if I didn't give thanks to the fine folks who helped me with this idea. Okay. And that is Mike and Jules from the Redbar Radio podcast. I don't even know if it's a podcast. I mean, it is so much more. If you haven't watched Redbar, please, folks, go out, find them. It's such a great show. I mean, the production value is amazing. It's a hilarious show. And Mike really helped break the hypnotic spell that a lot of these other kind of corporate, boring, mainstream podcasts had over me. Over the last year, I've kind of noticed that some of my favorite podcasts have started to fall off and started to get a little boring. It seemed like they were really phoning it in. And Mike really helped clarify that for me.
Thank you.
But more importantly, if you watch the show long enough, he throws out these amazing tidbits of knowledge, and you have to really listen for him. And one of the things he said was that the background behind you needs to be a dark color.
That's it. That's my knowledge.
You notice from the last few episodes that you may have watched, I had a white wall behind here, and it was lit up kind of pink. I was trying to make it purple, but it just never panned out. And so I hope this looks great to you. Again, let me know in the comments if you like what you see here.
I love it.
We're really excited for that. We've also got some new lighting behind the artwork that you see behind me.
Artwork.
So I actually moved it away from the wall, put some blacklight lighting in there.
Hell yeah.
I moved some of the lights down to the floor. We're trying some things out here, folks. I got some new overhead lights. So let me know what you think in the comments. I really appreciate that.
Okay, thank you so much for the kind words. That's awesome. I think the set looks great. And we actually have a photo of his full set if you guys want to see it. You're not going to believe this. I think you did a great job based on my... Wow, look at this. So here's that artwork he was standing in front of, I guess, because he was not sitting at a desk. It's been revealed that he was actually doing that podcast. I've never seen this done from a podium. You can see here, this is a standing podium. He was giving a... Wow, it looks like it's this could be the Victorville Film Archive that he's broadcasting from, a storage unit, it seems. Wonderful, and I think the new set looks fantastic. Thank you, Mind War. You know what, I wanted to go further. He's an unknown guy, right? And he's trying to make his studio better. And he said some really nice things about us. So I've got a surprise for Mind War. You can cut to me. Mind War, reach out to me because I want to get you a little gift for your new studio. You tell me what you need to make your studio better, It's on the arm. On me. Thank you for that. That was beautiful. You get the $100.
Thank you, Mind War.
Thank you, Mind War. Okay, 2 big ones here.
And I hope you're not saying anything that we wouldn't agree with on that podcast.
Exactly, because I've endorsed you, so I hope there's nothing. I mean, when you're standing at a podium, it could get creepy. It could get weird.
Mike and Jules over at redbarradio.net, thank you so much for playing my video on your show. This is more than I could have ever imagined. Now, over at my clothing brand, Victory Work Apparel, I have created a custom designed sweatshirt in your honor. Like I mentioned in my last video, I listen very intently to your show and have heard you discuss your love for the big sweatshirt and the type of designs that you like. The prototypes have already been delivered to the P.O. box listed on your website. And here's the fun part. These new designs won't see the light of day without your approval. If I get the thumbs up from you, I will post them on my Etsy page and do a limited run while supplies last. You also mentioned a very gracious offer to help me acquire a piece of equipment that I may need for the Mind War Studios. This could not have come at a better time. I have been saving for the final piece of equipment that will be the crown jewel of the Mind War Studios. I've sent you an email with the details and thought we should keep it a secret just between us. That way I can do a big reveal video in a future episode of the Mind War podcast. Towards the end of your segment, Jules gave me an important piece of advice that Mike reiterated perfectly. And that was to ensure that the content I create here on the Mind War podcast stays within the acceptable boundaries of the social media platforms. Here on the Mind War podcast, we do address controversial subjects in an over-the-top and often inflammatory way. Because as many of you know, our goal is to help the viewers overcome the hypnotic spell that the mainstream media has over their minds by showing them how absurd mainstream reporting has become. I appreciate that advice and have taken it to heart. And finally, as the newest member of Scars Club, I would like to formally invite you to enlist in the Mind War at patreon.com/mindwar. It would be an honor to have you in our ranks. Thank you again. Sincerely, your friend Victor, the Occult Technician. And as always, folks, remember, harden your hearts and open your minds, because this is Mind War.